All right, we are recording. Okay, I'm so excited. So I'm going to start us off tonight. We're going to talk about mindset because you hear people talking about personal development and mindset, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's really important. But we're going to tell you all the reasons that it actually is tonight. So I don't want you to tune out. I want you to put your phones away. I want you to truly, truly get everything that you can out of this Zoom. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So what I would like to talk on tonight is about likes and interaction on social media. So, put a one in the chat if you were someone in high school or maybe even college or maybe even now that you still care what people think. Put a one in the chat if you still care what people think. I'm betting there's going to be a decent amount of people on there that do. Yep, they're coming in now. Okay, so my best advice to you is to not care. And I ask you to think about it. You don't have to put it in the chat. Why do you care? Why do you care what they think? Because if you're not doing anything, you're not offending anybody. You're not doing anything that's wrong. You're literally doing what you feel like God has called you to because God brought you here for a reason. And so I just want you to think about that as we go into this Zoom. But I also want you to think about what Amber just said. Yeah, they don't pay your bills. So I don't know if you're doing this as a full-time worker or if you're doing this as a college student or as a mom. I don't know your story. But if you're doing this to be able to pay something off or get some extra money for something, they're not paying your bills. So it doesn't matter, you know? But the other thing that I want you to think about is if any of you, I'm sure moms especially, but any of you might know her anyways, Hannah Reeves is someone that I look up to that's outside of our team. And I want to just like go over some of her posts really quick and tell you how many likes she got. And these are all business related or product related. There's one with 10. There's one with no likes, but 6 comments. There's one, sorry, she posted a lot here recently. There's one with 13 likes. There's one with 14 likes, 20 likes, 3 likes. Do you know what rank she is? She's a double diamond. And she is consistently a top enroller on Susan Wade's downline. She is someone that a lot of people I know look up to. And I wanted to bring that to light because it doesn't matter how many likes she gets. She said this on a Zoom that I was on once and I was like, oh, like, wow, okay. Because she doesn't care how many likes she gets. She's going to post it either way because people are still watching. So put a 2 in the chat. Let me finish before you put the 2 in the chat. But think about this with the people that you joined with, the person you joined with, sorry. Did you like and comment on their stuff before you joined them? Because I didn't. I did not. I will put a 2 in the chat because I did not like and comment on Morgan's stuff. I sat there and I just watched her and I watched her and I watched her and we messaged a little bit and I watched her and I watched her for a whole year. So look at all those 2s coming in. Look at all those 2s. So if you guys know that you didn't like and comment their stuff, I want you to think about that the next time you get discouraged because you don't have interaction on your posts. I don't care if I don't get any interaction on my posts. Our power hours are great for that, by the way. Little plug for those. But I really don't care because I know that there's people out there watching and that's why they message me. So that's my spiel on interaction. I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention there because I thought it was really good when Hannah said it. So we are going to move on here. I'm super excited. Amber has been killing it lately. And so she's going to talk about affirmations and how important they are. And I'm just really, really excited for you guys to hear from her.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to speak about this because this is literally changing my business. So what I want you to do is drop a 1. I don't even know what number we're on because Brooke, that was so good. Drop a 1 in the chat if you had a negative thought today. And it better be everyone. And I'm just going to say a little statistic here to start me off. So you have about 150 to 300 thoughts per minute. Okay, your brain has that many thoughts per minute. 80% of those thoughts are negative. Okay, we actually just went over this. I was on a Zoom earlier about that. But how crazy is that? 80% of your thoughts are negative. So you wake up in the morning, you're probably having a negative thought, right? Well, then your day is going to be negative because that's all you're going to be thinking about. So affirmations are literally positive statements that can help you challenge and overcome those self-sabotaging thoughts, right? You may wake up in the morning, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm not pretty, like all those things. I'm not going to sign anyone today. I'm too tired, right? So affirmations are going to change that around because Now you only have 20% like of that's positive. That's like nothing, guys. You want to change your thought process so that your whole day you can be successful, right? You're not caught up in that negative. Your greatness lies in your thoughts, guys. It lies in your thoughts. And hope is good, but nothing happens until you speak the actual positive. You need to speak positivity over yourself. So, why do you have to do affirmations? They're going to motivate you in the morning. They're going to keep your mind focused on your goal of the day or your goal of the year or your goal of the month or whatever. They're going to change the way that you think, and they're going to change the way that you behave. Okay. And they're going to change your actions. And that's what you want, right? You want your day to be filled with positive thoughts. So, what I do is I want you guys, a challenge for the rest of this week is every morning I want you to pick a focus. Okay. Affirmations are great, but for me, I pick a focus. So, like, if I'm being challenged on signing distributors or loyal customers, that's what I'm going to do affirmations about. So, I did one about enrollments. Okay. The next day, I wrote about affirmations about money. The next day, I wrote about faith. The next day, I wrote about confidence because I woke up not confident. The next day, I had really bad anxiety. I did affirmations about anxiety. I had affirmations about motherhood because I wasn't feeling like a great mom that day, that morning. And you know what? When I did that, the rest of the day, I was like, I'm a great mom. Harper loves me so much, and I'm going to help her succeed in life. So what I want you to understand is the way that you talk about yourself, people are going to see that too. Okay. And I just want to say one thing about this book, because affirmations, I mean, I can talk about them all day long. And The Power of I Am, if you guys have not read this book, it's an amazing book. And this is what it says. It says that researchers added up the cost of all the enzymes, cells, tissues in the body, and you're worth $6 million. Okay, that's what an average person's like is worth, I guess. But you may be worth $9 million. So think of yourself that way. Don't think of yourself as average. Think of yourself as way above average. Write that out every single morning. I'm worth $9 million, not $6 million. I'm going to sign 6 loyal customers today. I am a great mom. I'm a great daughter. I'm a great sister. I'm a great leader. Whatever you have to do to get over those negative thoughts in the morning, write them down consistently. Do not do it one day and not the next. Do them consistently. And I want you to tell me that your business does not change. That's all I have.
Well, bam. Dang, way to start us off. Okay. I don't want to talk too long because I know we've got a lot of people going on, but I have to highlight 2 things that she said. One, when she talked about 80% of our thoughts throughout the day are negative. I have one question to like branch off on that. If you decide not to do affirmations because you don't think they're important and you do nothing, how do you plan to change that? And how do you plan to have better days and get rid of your negative thoughts if you're not going to do anything about them? Just saying. That's the thought that I had when she said that. The other thing that I want to highlight that is like, my gosh, for me is affirmations about what you're struggling with. So usually I did like some mom ones, some business ones. I did like all these random ones throughout the day, like just whatever I felt like I needed. And maybe it was what I needed at the time, but I love that because there are just days like, maybe last night was a really hard day as a mom or something. And the next day I wake up and I'm still just feeling that mom guilt. Doing like almost all mom affirmations, I feel like would just like, you almost got me in tears when you started talking about that. That's really good, whether it's mom or whether it's business, whatever it is, faith, whatever you're struggling with. That's so good. So, oh my gosh, I can't even like, I could go on forever about that. I better stop. But my gosh, thank you so much, Amber. That was incredible. Speaking of not doing personal development or not doing affirmations, we're going to bring in Nadia here because she actually didn't do personal development the first time she was in the business. And I want her to expand on this because it's so good. And you guys are just truly going to love this.
Okay, hey guys. So we're doing 60-second quick snaps for stories still, right? Okay. Yeah, Amber, you didn't do yours. It's fine.
We're
Pretty
a hot
much
mess tonight.
so pretty much like literally 60 seconds. I was in the business from 2017 to end of 2019, like December 16th, 29 or December 17th, 2019. I left the business and was like, okay, we're switching teams. Like my old team was not good for me. Their whole scenario was not good. I had filed bankruptcy, gone through car repossession and eviction by the time I was 20. And this business, I was like, when I joined in 2017, I was like, this is my answer. And then it wasn't. Not that time around. It was not. This time around, joined back in March and went double diamond in 75 days. Okay, that was my 1 minute. I watched the 7 turn to an 8, Brooke. So just saying. So first time around, I did not do personal development, guys. They literally, I was like, I'm already doing everything and it's not working. Like something's not working. I'm not enrolling. And all of my leaders were like, it's your mindset. It's your mindset. I'm like, no, it's not. It's something else. Trust me. And then I joined Morgan's team and she's like, no, seriously, like mindset, dude. Like start doing personal development. So I started doing personal development. And yeah, it works. It's not just something that they say to annoy you, apparently. So it's fine. It definitely was like, no, you're literally just telling me, that telling me it's my mindset is gonna annoy me. So you're just telling me, like, that was literally where my mindset was. So I guys, I have started this year. I literally put I started going to the gym last week. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I only go 3 days a week because my kid goes to school those 3 days, and I can do that because I don't have him. And I decided I found a workout on TikTok, and I thought it was like this grand idea. It's actually awful, guys. Don't try it. I mean, try it, but don't. And it's 30 minutes long, and I literally go on my phone now, and for me, I'm someone who's like working on growing my faith. So like I listened to Stephen Furtick. And I listened to him the first time around in the business too. And I thought that he would help with my business, and he didn't originally, but he's helping now. Okay. And something too, guys, I always got on like team trainings the last time I was in the business. And I literally was like, no, I'm getting on trainings. Like I'm doing personal development. Like that is my personal development. I don't need anything else. Truth is, guys, Zooms are great for learning. They're not personal development. So if you are getting on team Zooms and you're like, yeah, I'm doing my personal development, you're not. We're not sitting here reading from a book that, is pouring into you. We're working. It's not, or we're learning like a way to work our business better. For me, I literally have a stockpile of books between Audible and my actual books that I actually like physically hold and read. And I'm not a reader whatsoever, but I will read these books. And it literally makes such a huge difference. Just, between the affirmations that you do, like Amber, and then adding in the personal development and having Stephen Furtick playing when I'm working out for 30 minutes. And then I switched to an Audible, like the mindset shift that you see. Yes, Haley, I will put some of my books that I read in the chat when I'm done. But like when you mix it all together, it is so insane. Like looking back for me, seeing where I was in the business before, really thinking that they were just telling me like, hey, it's literally your mindset, to actually like, now I'm like a leader that's like, no, dude, it's your mindset. And I'm that person. And I literally tell them, I'm like, dude, I thought that it was a joke. I thought that they were like telling me it's your mindset to annoy the crap out of me, and they weren't. So guys, personal development, it's a thing. It's a real thing. You need to invest in it. Don't be like me and think that we're just saying it to annoy you, because we're not.
No, that's so good. And I love how like raw you're like, nope, I just thought they were annoying. Like I did. But the one thing I want to highlight from what you said was that you're talking about how Zooms are not personal development, because I thought they were in the beginning too. And I was like, all right, got my personal development done. I'm good. And they were great. They were. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, wait, what am I struggling with? And then I was like, okay, I'm struggling with my money mindset because I came from a poor household, from a single mom and stuff like that. And then Amber's struggling with anxiety. And then Nadia's struggling with just confidence. Like we're all struggling with different things. And not that a Zoom can't hit all of that, but our personal development books and what might hit for us might be completely different. Like Morgan loves The Last Arrow. That book is one of her favorites. And I don't know if anyone else has read it. If you haven't, it is pretty good. But it did not hit me the way that it seemed to hit everybody else. But there's other books that I've read that I'm like, oh my gosh, like that is my book that like just woke me up. And everyone's like, yeah. And so like that's what personal development is. It's called personal development because it's personal to you. And so I just wanted to remind you of that before we go on.
And something I want to throw in really quick too, because Rachel asked a really good question. She asked, how often do I do personal development a day? So for me personally, I do my personal development at the gym, but if I'm cleaning my house, I have it playing. I have an Alexa, and if I say her name too loud, she's going to turn on and try and shut off my TV or turn on my light. This is my life. I have to like censor my words because of electronics and dogs. So I have her, and she will play like my Audible that I have on my phone. She'll play like whatever book I have, whatever book I last played. So I do her while I'm cleaning. And I almost alerted the one in the bedroom. You don't know who has one, okay? You literally have to be so quiet. And it depends on the day. If I wake up and I'm in a good space, like I'll still do personal development. I do not skip a day of it just because I'm feeling good. But if I wake up feeling good, I only do like 1 to 2 hours, depending on how long I'm at the gym. And then if I wake up and I'm not in a good headspace, I literally like will sit and clean my house, because it's like cleansing to me to clean my house. And I turn on Alexa. Sorry guys if I just set that off. And I just listen to Audible. And then I turn on my TV because I have a smart TV, and I can turn on YouTube on it. And I turn on Stephen Furtick, and I literally, if I feel like I need poured into, I turn it on.
And I think that's something to remember too, is like you have to do what like works for your schedule. So like when I was teaching full time, I had an hour drive and an hour back. And so depending on how I was doing in the morning, I would either listen to personal development if it wasn't done, or I would do music. But at the end of the day, I was way too frustrated, depending on how the day went, that was my time for personal development. So like you kind of have to look at your schedule and figure out when you can do it. But even 20 to 30 minutes is better than nothing. So I wanted to highlight that too. Amber, while I figure out who's next on my list, do you want to share like a 30-second story so people know who you are?
Hi, I'm Amber. I already talked. So like Nadia, I was in the business previously, and I hit the rank of diamond, and it took me about 1.5 years to hit the rank of diamond before. And unfortunately, my mother passed away, and it was just something that I just could not handle. I couldn't handle anything in my life. So I took that time to just find myself and find myself who I was without my mom. As many of you may know, you may be close to your mom or not, but I had to find who I was without her in my life. And that took some time. And then I got pregnant with my baby girl, and something needed to change because I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to spend as much time with my baby as possible because of losing my mom. So I joined, I went full force. I went diamond in 55 days. So if I can do that, so can you. If you are new, just know that just take what we are teaching you and just run with it. And that's about it.
Thank you. Sorry, I put you on the spot. I was like, wait, they don't know who she is. They don't know who I am either, maybe. I'll give you a 30-second story real quick before we move on to Caitlin here. But my name is Brooke, so I'm in South Dakota, and I taught band for 4 years. And then 8 months before I got pregnant with my son was when I joined the business. So it was March of 2018. So I'm coming up on 3 years, which is actually really exciting. I'm really sorry if you can hear my son crying. It's bedtime and he's fighting it pretty bad. But anyways, so I joined when I was teaching, and I just wanted to pay for gas because I drove an hour back there and an hour back. And then um started paying off loans, and things started just going really well. I got the Ruby bonus when it was out, and it was just like, oh my gosh, like this is working. This is so crazy. I started paying for emergency costs and everything like that, and it was just absolutely incredible. And then I realized could start paying off loans and everything like that, and I was like, oh, we can actually be like debt free. And so that's what I started doing. Then when we got pregnant, I realized like God's true plan for bringing me into this business was so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. And what's funny is if you'd have asked me in college if I would have wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, I was like, no. And I have nothing against working moms. If there's anyone on here or anyone listening, I don't have anything against it. My best friend is one. I just felt the calling to stay home. And so because of this business, I'm able to insert income disclosure statement here. And it's just absolutely incredible. And I'm very, very blessed. So that's my story. But we're going to move on to Caitlin here. She is going to talk about empowering your DTs and how that impacts your business. So I think this is something that everybody needs to hear. And I'm really, really excited to hear from her if I can find her. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry, not me.
Hey, can
Okay.
you see
Great.
me?
No, I'll find you. Keep talking though.
Hey girl, what's up? How y'all doing? Happy Monday.
I got you. Thank you.
Okay. You're good. You're good. Okay, yes. So when we were talking about what we should go over tonight, I was so excited because I feel like this is something like Brooke said that everybody can learn from. So drop a 1 or whatever number we're on, drop a 2 if you struggle with leading your team. Or like you just kind of like get flustered when teammates text you or DTs text you and you don't know how to respond, or just like you just feel overwhelmed in general. Okay, yeah. Everybody should drop a 2. I'll drop a 2. Like everyone's been there and still is there sometimes. And I think empowering your DTs is so important. Number 1, it gives them the tools and the mindset to be able to grow and become a leader as you are. But number 2, it lets you be able to breathe, and you get to be able to have, like, think about it like this. Morgan literally enrolls like 100 people a month. If she did not have people like you guys or someone who she's enrolled that she's your distributor, if they didn't have leadership qualities, she would never have time for those 50, 100 distributors she enrolls, because she would still be having to coach them. But because she implemented a system and she got this like routine where she lets DTs do things but holds their hand, that is how she's able to still consistently enroll that many people and keep up. She's a top Ruby maker or whatever it's called, diamond, there's a reason for that. And so I kind of want to talk to you guys about how you can empower your DTs. So number 1 is give them the tools. Like, I don't care if they're on the Zooms, tag them in DRB Diamond stuff every day. If there's a new post, let them be able to kind of explore like the whole entire DRB Diamond page and just everything that it has to offer, because some DTs, especially if you're grading, you might want to like go off and read a lot of stuff. There's lots of detailed posts. Like, your DTs can become so invested without you even knowing their investment, because they're secretly on Dare to Be Diamond reading posts every day. So give them the tools, number 1. Number 2, I would say, is hold their hand. So when they enroll a new distributor, this is something that I do. Like, if one of my DTs enrolls a DT, we get in a 3-way group chat. So they'll add me to a group chat and be like, hey, this is my enroller, Caitlin. Like, just basically like back up if they need any help or anything. So sometimes they're like, can you FaceTime them for me? Like, can you connect with them? And I'm like, yes, I can definitely do that, but I want you to be on the Zoom too. Like, I will still connect with them on a personal level outside of that, but I'm like, hey, let's talk to them in this group chat together, and then text me and I'll literally tell you what to say. So like, if they have questions, I'll literally be like, okay, say this. So it gives them empowerment. They feel like they're leading. The team sees them as their leader. I'm just a backup that's there whenever they need help. And then also like FaceTime.
Sorry, Caitlin, I had to mute everybody. You want to unmute yourself again?
You're good. Can you hear me now? Okay. So like FaceTimes, if they want me to FaceTime the new DT, I'll definitely do that, but I'll get them to hop on like and see how I'm doing it. That way they're replicating it within their team, because when that DT enrolls a DT, they're now me. And I want them to have the tools to be able to carry that through their business and not always need me, because they can do it. It's just scary in the beginning. And Morgan did that with me when I first signed up with her. She put us in like group chats. If I had questions outside of it, I would text her separately. We would like work it out. So it gave me the feeling like I could lead, and I did lead, obviously. Like it just came because I felt like I could do it. And then thirdly, lead by example. You will never empower your DTs more if you are telling them to get on the Zooms and be active and get in the chat and all that stuff like that, and they never see you doing those things. You're not empowering them, because they don't even see their leader doing those things. If you tell them to hop on power hours and make sure you comment on, do host to post, and then you never ever let them know you're doing those things, like they're not going to do that. So give them the confidence, show them that it's easy, that you can work it into their lives. Because I promise you, if Morgan didn't show up some days, I know there's a lot of us that wouldn't, because you'd be like, oh, well, she's taking an off day, so can we. No, you show up every day, no matter what rank you are, because when you start not showing up is whenever your business is going to start going downhill. Promise you that. Okay, and then let's talk about how this actually impacts your business. So what do y'all think happens when you empower your DTs and they start being able to do stuff? They literally hype the rest of the team up. Now you've got 2 DTs out of, let's say you have a team of 8 people. If you empower 2 of those DTs, now the other 6 are freaking pumped. They're like, oh my God, it's not just Caitlin, our leader, that's hype. It's not just her that's sending reminders to the chat. It's not just her that shows up on power hours. It's not just her signing LCs. No, there's other teammates. They're on the same level as me, and they're doing the same thing. Like, I wonder how they got to leadership. I wonder how they got to lead a power hour, because they freaking showed up and I saw that. And that's the same thing with any of you guys. Like, you have that power, and then it hypes the whole flipping team, and it's amazing. Not only, now you don't have to enroll alone anymore. Your GV goes up because you're not the only enroller. Your teammates feel comfortable in signing LCs, feel comfortable signing DTs, that your team is growing, and it's growing in the right way because you're not carrying everyone. There are people that actually know how to follow through the steps and do these things. And so when you see that, it's going to explode in your team. And then one girl's going to connect with another girl, and then she's going to become hype, and then she's going to hype her team. And then your business overall it's like a boom season within just your group. No matter what month of the year it is, it happens. I enrolled in whatever you call fall. I don't know if it's called dead season. Like, I don't know what it is, because that's just when I enrolled. And so like, I don't know a boom season until now. So I enrolled in dead season, whatever. And I didn't know it was dead season. You want to know why? Because I just did the steps. I just followed the plan. I just did whatever Morgan told me to do. It didn't matter to me if it was September. I didn't know what September meant. I was enrolling 30 DTs, or not 30 DTs, 30 LCs a month, and I was thinking that it was normal. Like, it just, you have to be able to get in the right mindset and empower your DTs. And even if you don't feel like you're good at leading, or like you're nervous, when you start to empower your DTs, you'll realize like, oh, this is easy. Like, I feel good. Then you'll start to feel those leadership qualities, because you'll see this is easy. I just get on a FaceTime with them. I just send them a quick text, and then everything kind of comes together. It's not hard, you guys. And if you still struggle with that, talk to your upline and get to say, like, what do you do? Like, how can I do what you're doing with me? Like, how can I create that mentorship? And literally, y'all, when you do this, your business will explode. Like, it will be you and your whole team so hyped, so excited and rolling, and everybody's prepared to take you to the next level because you have those DTs carrying the same vision. So freaking empower your DTs.
No, I love that. I love that so much. And I think that like there's so much I could highlight from that. But the other thing I want to highlight is that, like you said, Morgan would never ask us to do something that she's not willing to do. So you're never going to see a day where Morgan doesn't post on her social media. You're never going to see a day where she's not on her stories. You're never going to see a day where she's not posting her TikTok and reels. Like, she is consistent every single day. And that's why she can ask us to do those things. And because she knows us, like, she knows what our goals are. She believes in us, everything except for a Sabbath. Yes. Okay. Bad wording on my part. But you can't expect your team to show up and do those things, or be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go diamond, but you haven't posted in 2 months. you can't do that. That doesn't work, because if you have a diamond team and you're not posting, first off, how'd you get there? But second off, you're not leading them. You're not showing them how to do it, and that's just not right. So, that was so good. That was so good. I can't even like end that. We're gonna move on though. We're gonna move on to Kayla talking about how a positive mindset attracts positive people. So to strengthen yourself as a leader, you need to make sure you have that positive mindset. So Kayla, go ahead and unmute yourself, and then I will find you here.
Hello. I'm so excited. There's so many like good things being talked about. So a quick little thing. I've been in the business for a year next month, so freaking crazy. But my story is kind of a little bit like Brooke's. So 8 months into this to the business, I found out I was pregnant. I'm currently pregnant, due in June, and it honestly changed the whole game. So at first, I only joined to put gas in my car or whatever. I was a broke college kid. I was finishing my senior year of college, but now my entire thing has changed. I wanted to stay home with my baby. I want to do things that my family couldn't provide for, because my family was not rich at all. Bottom of the middle. So when I first joined, I had the worst mindset ever. Like, my enrollers and their enrollers will tell you it was disgusting. I hate it. So I'm nowhere near where I was. And I was like, I can't enroll. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, there's a reason you can't do that, is because you keep saying you can't do it. So just like Nadia said, personal development. That is the thing that changes the whole game. I started listening to a podcast all the time. I had an hour away internship. The whole time I drove there, I would listen to a podcast. It's called The Motivated Mind, and it changed my whole game. And then, I'd listen to that to and from in between my classes, right when I wasn't doing anything. And that honestly got me in my game. My entire thing changed. I became so positive. I started enrolling. Everything was perfect. It was, well, not perfect, but everything was a lot better. So you have to have a positive mindset to enroll positive people. If you have negative people on your team, it's going to be physically and mentally draining for you. And what I mean by positive people is like they're optimistic. You have to look at the brighter things. And as a leader, we can have people who frustrate us on our team, and DTs who don't work, DTs who say that they can't do this, can't do that. And I'm a red, and I'm just like, you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. But I have to learn to adjust and be positive towards them and tell them, okay, well, stop saying you can't do this, because that's where you're going to fail, and start saying, how are we going to do this? So you have to be positive. You have to come at them and look on the brighter side of things. Like, one of my uplines, I was talking to her about how my chart looks this month and about maintaining my rank and stuff. And I was like, I only have this amount of volume. And she was like, don't say only, say this is the volume you have so far. You have to change the words, because when you say I only have this amount of volume, then you're setting yourself up for failure. But if you say I have this so far, you're setting yourself up for greatness for the entire rest of the month. So you have to be positive. You have to change your outlook on things. Like, honestly, if you have a planner, write that mess down. Have a dream board. You've got to look. I'm a visual person, so I have to look at things. And if I see where I want to be, then that's where I'm going to be, because I can see it. And positive vibes attract positive people. I can't stress that enough, because I've gotten customers because I've been excited about the products. You go on your stories, you go live, you get excited. They ask you questions, use emojis, use exclamation points, be excited. If you don't talk like you know what you're talking about, they're not going to want to join you. And same for distributors. If you don't talk like you believe in this business, if you don't talk like this business has changed your life, how are you going to get people who are going to run with you? That's honestly the whole truth. And I'm very, very red here, but you just have to be patient with your team. You have to be as positive as you can, but you have to be consistent as a leader. You have to show up. You have to be on power hours. Like me, I was not a morning person. Now, for me, I have switched, and being pregnant is, I'm trying to adjust everything. But now I'm on every morning power hour that I can be on for my team, because if I'm not on there, how do I expect my team to be on there? Like, you can't, like they said, Morgan would never tell us to do anything she wouldn't do. So why are you telling your team to get on power hours, telling your team to get on team Zooms, telling your team to post, but you're not doing the same? You have to be positive. So that means changing your mindset. Be excited about things. When you're talking to the team, be excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this team Zoom. Like, it just, you have to be just so hype. And if they can feel your hype and they can feel your excitement, they're going to want to stay with you. I have a distributor that I signed. She also was in the business a while ago and quit and came back, but she's loving our team better because we have so much excitement. Her other team didn't have that. So you don't understand how much that changes people's lives. When you're excited about what you're doing, you love what you're doing, and you're not just going by through the motions, they're going to want to stay longer. Why do you think Morgan has such a huge team? Like, that's just the realest thing. And then you'll be in this position. You'll be talking on team Zooms. You'll be going to conference. You'll be going to these retreats. You'll be going to all the It Works events, and people will see that, and they're going to want to be just like you. But you can't do that unless you write your stuff down, first of all, be excited, be confident, and have that positive mindset. You need to have that positivity, because even if you were going to buy a new car, would you want to buy a car from somebody who says, oh, this is like a used car and I don't know how well it is, but I'm going to sell it to you? Heck no. Like, you want to buy something from somebody that is excited in their product. So you have to be excited. You have to be confident. Show up or your team will not. Like, that's just the biggest thing. So I wasn't a morning person, but I had to adjust. And when my baby gets here, it's going to be hard, but I'm going to adjust anyways because I'm going to do it. That's all I got to say.
I love it. And I love your energy. And I have to highlight that because I tell people all the time that, like, if you come to me and you're like, hey, that movie was really good, you should go see it. Okay, sure. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna go see that movie. Oh my gosh, did you see this movie? It's so dang good. It was so exciting. It was so good, whatever, depending on the movie. Two totally different things, two totally different responses, 100,000,000%. That was fire. I totally forgot, Caitlin. Do you want to share part of your story for the 30-second story? Because we're trying to explain, because some of you don't know who we are. We just feel bad, and I totally forgot.
Yeah, I know. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I can give you a 30-second story. Okay, so I started this business in July. I went Ruby in 23 days. I went Emerald the next month and have been building on Diamond this month. So I joined pretty much because it looked fun, and I thought, why not? I already post on social media when I get paid for it. I'm getting my master's currently. I'm a youth pastor's wife. Love my dog in Target, and pretty much just did not understand what this business was, and now it literally can become a full-time income, and it's about to become one for me. So I would say if you're super busy and you have a full-time job and you're just crazy and running around, this is still for you, and make the time, lose the sleep, because it's worth it.
I love that. And I'll highlight one more thing before we move on to Natalie here. It was like 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure we had a Zoom, and for the life of me, I can't remember her name right now, but there is someone who is Ambassador Diamond that went Ambassador Diamond with a full-time job. So I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard. I'm not saying that, because it is. But I went Emerald with a full-time teaching job, my photography business, and grad school. You can do it. So moving on. Yes, busy people do really good in this business because they know how to manage their time. We're gonna move on to Natalie, though. She is gonna talk about going through the motions, or not going through the motions, I should say, sorry, and just being real with yourself and not being afraid to be real with yourself, basically. So go ahead and unmute yourself here, and I will find you.
I literally just almost started talking without unmuting myself, and I was like, let's not do that. So hi, my name is Natalie. I'm a single mom to Jeremy, who is always on Zooms with me. I'm super grateful for the fact that I can work with him right here, but you know, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes. Like, I guarantee you he's going to screech at some point while I'm talking. I joined when he was 2 months old. He is 9 months old now, so I've been in for about 7 months. And I know, he's so cute. And for a long time, like I didn't even realize it, but I was just going through the motions. Like when it comes to my colors, I'm pretty much even across the board. It's like 25%. And I just wasn't, focusing on like where I needed to focus on, even though I thought that I was. And I realized that you can't just go through the motions. You have to be real and honest with yourself. And like a bunch of people have said tonight, like when it comes to personal development, you have to do what's personal for you. Because if you just listen to like what works for somebody else, it might be really good advice, but you also have to make sure that you're taking the time to actually in on what's important for you, because otherwise there's no way. It's like if you were going to work Morgan's business instead of your own business. What works for Morgan might not work for you. I found a statistic that I want to share, and I'm going to make sure I read it from the statistic because I don't want to get it wrong. Every single piece of who you are, and like who makes you you, there is a 1 in 400 trillion chance that happens. So it's super important that you do take the time to sit down and make sure that you figure out who you are, and take the time to like focus on your environment and the positive and the negative. Because all of that is important. It's 100% you. You are important. What drives you, that's important. And you want to make sure that you take the time to focus on that, because otherwise all of the tips that we give you, all the personal development that you do, if you're faking it till you make it, which is important with some things, but if you're not actually devoting it to you and you're devoting it to what someone else tells you that you should do and you're not taking it to heart, then there's almost no point. And it's just, that's super important. Like, and I didn't realize that at first. And so I've been in the business 7 months. I'm a Ruby, and I could easily be Emerald or Diamond if I had, taken that to heart earlier. So it's just super important that you like take the time to look at yourself and self-reflect and say, ask yourself, what do I believe? What is important for me? And again, take a look at your environment and just see for yourself, is there something that might be getting in the way, and it just might be invisible to you at this point. We talk about how the 6 people that you spend your time with and the people that you listen to, that's kind of the average of what you're going to be. But yeah, so it's just super important that you take the time to focus in on that, because otherwise, like I said, it's important that you definitely like take the tips that you get from other people, but also make sure that you are taking the time to look into what you want to go towards in the future. And just make sure that you're taking that time to self-reflect, because otherwise it's kind of null and void when it comes to some things. That's it.
No, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think that's really like an eye opener for a lot of people. And I'm just curious like who we're talking to here. And I'm gonna say the numbers kind of fast because I want to get to our next person here because it's gonna be so good. But put a 4 in the chat if you are single or in college. Single or in college, put a 4 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat if you are a mom, whether you're married or single. Put a 5 in the chat. I'm just curious to who we're talking to here. And then put a 6 in the chat if you are a full-time working person. You do something outside of this business and you work this. Okay, so we kind of have an even amount of a lot of this. I love that. Okay, so hopefully someone tonight is like resounding. I don't know the word I'm trying to say with you guys, because we have so many different like people on here, and like I started full time and now I'm staying home, and there's just, oh my gosh, there's so many people on here. But one thing I wanted to highlight from what she said, the reason I asked that was because there was one time that my husband asked me, and he goes, man, like your Instagram messages, like, how does it really not, like, you don't seem to get as many notifications on them anymore. And he was right, because I wasn't really working Instagram. I was only working Facebook, and I wasn't doing all the things I needed to do. And so that's when I got really real with myself, when I was like, I will never, resonating, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, Lisa. I was like, I will never let him ask me again, are you doing the work you need to do to provide for our family? That's a harsh way to put it, but it's true. And me be able to say no. I will never, ever, ever, ever let that happen. And I will never tell Granger that, because I want to stay home with him, that I have to go to work because I didn't want to work. I will never, ever, ever, ever do that. So I just wanted to highlight that, because being real with yourself is like such a crucial part of this business. And getting ready to be real with yourself, especially when bad things happen in life. I want to bring up Regina. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna love her. Everyone that knows her calls her Mama Gina. She is like the biggest mom of our group, and there's a lot of moms, but she is. And so she's gonna talk, and she's gonna close us out here before I close us out. And I don't even know how I'm gonna follow it, but I'm gonna try. So go ahead and unmute yourself, and I will find you on here.
Hey. Nope. Okay. So my name is Regina Patosny. I am 32 years old. I live in West Virginia. I've been in the business for 2 years coming this March. I have 3 sons. I am a stay-at-home mom. The reason that I joined the business was because my husband works very hard. He builds houses, and like, I'm really not kidding. He does the work of like 3 men. I mean, he honestly does. He's pretty much the foreman on the job, and like his body hurts. He's tired. You know, he does so much for us. So I wanted to help with the finances, but it's really important to us that I stay home and raise the kids. So I am a diamond. I am going double diamond, but right now I am actually matching his paychecks. So, I mean, it's been life changing for us. It really has.
Insert
So,
income disclosure statement.
yes, it's our the oh my gosh, income disclosure statement. That I don't know where my brain went right there. I wanted to talk to you guys about like everything that everybody's saying is things that you need to do every day, and why you need to do them every day to affect your business right now, because that's, you know, that's things that we do actively to change our business, to change how our business is going, you know, like being more positive, like all of that is for right now. But I want you to realize what you're doing now, how it can help you later. Like when I joined this business, something had happened between myself and 2 of my very close family members. They really hurt me, and it took literally like a year for me to get over that. But I really don't think that I would even have been able to get over that at all if it wasn't for me consistently doing self-development, personal development, like, you know, being closer to God, learning how to react in a more positive way. And I had no idea, you know, what would happen in this year of our life. Um, so like I said, I joined in, it'll be 2 years. So after about a year and a half, it's been a hard year, to just put it lightly. um, my husband's grandma actually passed away in like May. His uncle passed away on Easter. And then, you know, we had moved, so we were struggling and living in a not clean house. And I don't say like not clean, I mean like probably shouldn't be living there with my kids. So that was on my mind. And then in July, I lost a baby. And I had, like I said, I have 3 kids, and I had never went through that before. I had never, I mean, not that I didn't lose, you know, go through loss. My father died when I was 13. You know, I had lost family members, but I had never lost a baby. And if I had not done all of this thing, you know, the self-development, spiritual development, I mean, you don't have to believe in God to, you know, still be positive in that manner. If you don't pray to God, you can still, you know, rejuvenate yourself in the same manner, even if you're not doing it to God. If I had not done that, I honestly don't know what I would have done, because like it was actually the month I lost the baby was actually my most successful month in the business. I signed 18 distributors that month. I had the highest paychecks I've ever had. And almost I had a little bit of guilt because I'm like, I'm supposed to be devastated, but I realized that maybe that's the whole point that I've been in this business, is because God had been preparing me for that event. But that's not the end of the story. Like still have 3 kids. I still have a husband. We still have a home that we're still building. I still have a future. Like, I am absolutely devastated that I lost my baby. Like, it still hits me. Actually, the due date is coming up at the beginning of February, and I just don't I don't even want to think about it. Like, it's not like it's still not there. But you cannot let something bad that happens in your life stop your life. And that includes being there for your family, your kids, the obvious things. But if you go through something bad and your first thought is, I got to quit the business, like, why? How does that help anything? Like, you started the business because you needed money. And then the first thing that happens to you that's difficult, you want to quit and then put yourself back into needing money. Why is that the first thing to go? Whenever something happened to me like that, like I said, we had 3 different family members pass away. I lost the baby. What I did is I didn't want to give up my business. That was something that kept me focused. That gave me a reason. I mean, not that my kids and my family aren't reason enough, but it gave me a purpose to support the family that I had. Like, you don't know what's going to come. And if you are not preparing yourself, maybe you're going to do something that you're going to regret. And it could be worse than leaving the business. However, you guys know what this business can do for your family financially. So why is that the first thing to go? Like, why is it all of a sudden, something happened? Like, if you're having a hard time with your husband, or, maybe you are going to get kicked out of your apartment and you need a new one, or, maybe it is a loss in the family, or there's sickness in your family. I mean, I understand your priorities change, but weren't you doing this business for one of your priorities? So I just really want to encourage you guys to do these things now. Yes, this will affect your daily life and your daily business, your immediate future. The business can change in a month. You could promote 2 times in a month. Like, that is true. However, if you're skipping out on your time, building your heart and your strength and your why and your drive, then the first time that something comes to your life and it's a road bump, it's going to be the first thing to go. And you're here for a reason. You decided to come here for a reason. And if it's for money and you quit and then you don't have less money, that's not going to fix anything. Like, that's literally going to bring back the struggle that you've been fighting for the last year. So, like, it's easy for me to talk about because I want to tell you about it. It's not easy because the pain's not there. Like, I mean, my little boy, he's 9 years old and he has autism and he's very sensitive. He'll start crying all the time. You ask him what's wrong, and he says he misses Momo Carol, which is my dad's husband. Like, there's constant reminders. The pain gets brought back up. But I can't let one sadness in a portion of my life dictate, the giving up, or dictate the next struggle. Like, I'm not going to take out the one thing that's still providing for us, the one thing that's going to retire my husband, the one thing that lets me be home for my kids, the one thing that brings, allows me to match my husband's paychecks, the one thing that if I didn't do this business, I never would have started self-development. I mean, I just wouldn't. I'd never done that before. I never self-talked. I never said I am worthy. I never did any of that. So don't do it for just the temporary payoff, because you don't know what's going to come in your life. And this could be the one thing that strengthened you and taught you how to deal with it when it does come.
How do I follow that? I don't. That's literally so good. You always bring the fire, but you bring it in this just beautiful way that just like stirs up all these emotions in me. And I'm just so incredibly inspired by you. And I'm so thankful that like I know we're right on time for ending, but I want to say one more thing before we hop off here. So give me like 2 minutes because everything Regina said is so incredible with like preparing yourself with what's about to come. And just we talked about being a leader and just like pouring into your team and empowering them and everything. And so I want to leave you with one more thing before we hop off of here. If you doubt that this works, or you doubt that these people don't want these products, and if you're like, people don't want these products, people are never signing up, people won't pay the price. Well, I joined for 99. Put a 7 in the chat if you joined for $99, just out of curiosity. But if you doubt those things and you're like, yeah, people don't want this, look at all those 7s right there. How do you expect people to sign up with you, first off? And second, if they do sign up with you, how do you expect them to get anywhere in the business? Because the first thing you're telling them is that people don't want these products and you haven't signed people or something like that. Like if they haven't seen success, they want to borrow your belief and they signed with you for a reason. So you need to give them that belief. So that's the last thing I want to leave you with because that's just something that has been on my heart recently. But it's so good. And I know it's scary and you joined, you took that leap, but now you got to borrow our belief. We've seen the success. We've been here. We're telling you it works. It's absolutely incredible what God can do in this business for you. So we did pretty good. 10:02 for me, 11:02 for a lot of people, 9:02. I don't know whatever other time zones you guys are all in. Thank you so much for just being here, pouring into yourself. I hope that you got something from this Zoom. If you did, throw it in our chat after this. I would love to see the aha moments. And then I will post this to Morgan's YouTube as soon as I get the chance to. And I think that's it. So I really hope that you guys have a great night. And I'm going to stop the recording because I should have stopped it before that.